The most important prompt in your AI app is usually the one your user never sees.
Exactly. It is called the system prompt, and it quietly sets the rules for how the model should behave before the user even types anything.
So if I am a programmer building with an LLM, the real control layer is not just the chat box.
Right. The user prompt is the request. The system prompt is the instruction manual, the role definition, and the behavioral guardrails bundled together.
That sounds subtle, but also kind of huge. If you get that wrong, the whole app feels wrong.
That is the stakes. A bad system prompt creates sloppy tone, inconsistent answers, weak formatting, and unsafe or off-brand behavior. A good one makes the product feel intentional.
Give me a concrete example, because I think a lot of new developers just see prompts as text blobs.
Imagine a customer support bot. The user says, "My order never arrived." The system prompt might say, "You are a support assistant. Be calm. Ask for the order number. Never invent refund policies. Summarize the next step in one sentence." Same user input, very different output quality.
So the user says what they want, the system says how the model should operate while answering it.
Yes, and that distinction matters because models are pattern followers. They do not naturally know your product standards, your company voice, or the task boundaries, unless you state them.
Let me push on that. If the model is already smart, why not just let the user ask directly and skip the extra layer?
Because raw capability is not the same as reliable behavior. Smart without direction is unpredictable. In production, unpredictable means higher support costs, user distrust, and weird edge case failures.
So, this is less about making the model smarter and more about making it consistent.
Consistent, targeted, and useful. A system prompt can tell the model to answer as a tutor, a SQL assistant, a travel planner, or an internal docs bot. It shapes style, scope, priorities, and output format.
Example me again. Different app, different stakes.
Take a coding assistant inside an IDE. The user types, "Why is this function slow?" A vague model may ramble about performance theory. A strong system prompt can force it to inspect the pasted code, identify likely bottlenecks, rank fixes by impact, and keep the answer under 6 bullet points.
That is a power shift. Suddenly, the app builder decides what kind of intelligence the user actually experiences.
Exactly. The model provider gives you a general engine. The system prompt is where you turn that engine into a product.
What usually goes inside one? Just role and tone?
Usually, more than that. Good system prompts often include role, goals, constraints, preferred output structure, what to ask when information is missing, what sources to prioritize, and what not to do.
So it is not one magic sentence. It is a compact operating policy.
That is the right mental model. Think policy, not poetry. The clearer the policy, the less drift you get across users, sessions, and edge cases.
And if you do not define that policy, the model fills in the blanks on its own.
Yes, and that is where teams lose control. One day your bot sounds formal, the next day casual. One answer gives a checklist, another gives an essay. Users read that as product quality, not model variance.
Let us make that painfully real.
Picture a healthcare intake assistant. The user says, "I have chest pain." The system prompt can tell the model to stay within triage guidance, ask focused follow-up questions, avoid making a diagnosis, and escalate urgent symptoms immediately. In that case, the system prompt is not cosmetic. It is operational safety.
So, in real applications, this is where trust gets won or lost.
Trust, cost, and adoption. Better system prompts reduce retries, shorten conversations, improve formatting for downstream tools, and make outputs easier to evaluate. That compounds fast in production.
Which means the teams who treat prompting like product design will beat the teams who treat it like a quick demo trick.
Absolutely. For programmers new to AI, the big shift is this. A system prompt is not decoration around the model. It is one of the main ways you specify behavior.
And once you see that, you stop asking, what can this model do? And start asking, what behavior am I actually shipping?
That is the whole game. User prompts ask for answers, system prompts define the assistant. and the product belongs to whoever defines the assistant best.